everybody, and welcome back to the channel here on Global Conquerors, our weekly podcast, Conquest. This is episode 33, and I'm joined with a special guest, but we'll first do our normal order. It's your host, SMGFrenzy, joined with... What are you...
AssassinADC, or Assassin as y'all guys know me, or Angel. Sorry, it was really cold. I was getting chilled again. Oh yeah, like you said, special episode of...
Sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, we have a special guest. Most of y'all may know her, may not, but let her introduce herself to y'all. So, go ahead.
My name's Crafter. I used to do most of the videos for Global Conquerors back when it first started out. Y'all might have seen me posting all the montage clips and aggressively trying to sell you rogue energy.
Yes, she was basically the head of our social media marketing and video editing for the longest when I didn't know how to video edit, and Angel literally could not video edit. So it was a great time of high schoolers doing the best they could with their resources, and we're very thankful for her for everything that she's done. But we'll continue more on that on her origin episode. This is the podcast, and we're going to start off with our usual esports and gaming with the biggest topic of the week, Dr. Disrespect. Two-time gaming world champion, wife cheater, got his house shot up, and basically has admitted to being a pedophile. Our episode last week basically was talking about how a former Twitch employee basically leaked without dropping a name, saying that Dr. Disrespect did so-and-so message an underage person on the Twitch Whispers chat when it first released, and people knew exactly who he was talking about without the name drop. This week, Doc put a long response on his Twitter that he edited 3 times to remove the word minor, then put it back, then took it off, then put it back, and basically admitted to having contact with minor. He says he did nothing illegal. He says that everything was settled, but we all know what he did. Let's be fair here. So we'll kick off. Angel, what's your opinions? What's your thoughts?
Jesus. He lost a lot of pretty much everything. I mean, he lost his sponsorships, his gaming studio. I mean, Sean talked about this when we did our podcast, but 2024 is going to be the year of truth, and a lot of things have been coming out and to the, I guess you could see, to the light. And we finally got an answer for an unknown, like, I guess, situation that we didn't know what was going on and what caused them to get banned. But with the information that came out last week, and then with more stuff coming out about him, not surprised what happened. And he lost everything. He lost everybody he was really close with, the connections, sponsorships. He lost it all, and I don't think he can come back from this. There's no way. He can't. No, so I got nothing else to say about this topic.
No, you're good. And then also, Edith, on your end, your take about everything that's happened with the Dr. Disrespect situation over the past week.
Yeah. I mean, it's genuinely kind of fascinating that it took this long to come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think someone would have leaked it or said something earlier, because I feel like, and maybe this is just media bias, nostalgia bias, but I feel like so many of the YouTubers, the gaming YouTubers that I grew up watching, so many of them turned out to just be creepy people who were either abusive to their partners or pedophiles or something to that effect. It feels like everyone is just, but I wonder what drives you to do that grossness, especially when you have a wife. I
think it's weird, especially since this whole situation happened 4 years ago, but then 2 years before that came out with the situation of Dr. Disrespect cheating on his own wife with a different person. And then also there were messages that came out from a, not I shouldn't say well known, it's hard to say certain words on YouTube, but a corn performer on Twitter leaked DMs that they had with Dr. Disrespect during his whole wife situation,
Oh, really?
basically showcasing how he was also cheating on her, not with the other person, but also with someone else. So he had so many backdoor things occurring at the same time that are all coming to light at once. And I think that there is potentially an NDA that Twitch and other mods could not talk about, which is why when this was revealed,
Yeah.
his name was still not said, but everybody, including himself, knew it was targeted at him.
Mm-hmm.
I still find it insane.
Crazy.
Someone that people looked up to and stuff like that now ruined his reputation and
Mhm.
lost a lot of big people in the community in that space. So we don't probably won't hear from him ever again. And I don't know. I mean,
permaban from Twitch and dropped off the face of the earth by every sponsor. And
so
gotta go find yourself a new job under the name
yeah,
Herschel.
Yeah. Because his own
probably.
game studio removed him as a co-creator. He's getting
No,
his maps
he
and
stepped down.
appearance. Yeah, he stepped down apparently, but no. His maps from different games are being removed, or like his likeness in different games are being removed. And I guess Angel and I have talked about this before on the podcast in passing, but there has been seeming to be a trend of content creators, not just in the gaming scene, but just in general on YouTube and Twitch, Kick and other platforms, after a certain period of time being revealed as really despicable people. I know Angel and I have talked about Minilad, who was also unfortunately a pedophile, who was a big gaming YouTuber, many in the Minecraft community, many in the music community. I think many remember like the Amanda Sings controversy, and she had that whole ukulele
Oh,
thing that was
yeah.
horrendous.
Oh my
Like,
god. It's so bad.
I don't know if these gaming like content creators slash streamers think because of they have this money because of I guess their ego because of what they could do or what they have accomplished just from gaming, thinking that with just money they could hide everything. And I told Mokhtar last week about this, and the reason why Twitch didn't say anything to the public was they were trying to protect him, and he was kind of pushing them. Twitch never budged until an ex-employee revealed it. So pretty much the whole situation. What happened was Twitch was trying to save him from this whole disaster in a way. That's why they settled the deal to just go their separate ways. And he kind of pushed them too much, saying that he doesn't know why and this and that, even though he knew what the reason. And yeah, it just took an ex-employee to kind of throw some hints out there. And I mean, we kind of knew that he was talking about him because there's just from the way it was worded, and you could tell they were just talking about him. And obviously, he later responds to this, and obviously, we pretty much just connected everything together. And it sucks that uh, another one bites the dust in a way. It's kind of cliche, but or cheesy, whatever you want to say. But yeah, these people think because they make a little money from just gaming, it'll take away all their problems. Kind of got obviously from the leaks where he was talking about it. He thought just because you could block somebody doesn't mean you can't see their DM still. Um, obviously, but
that was
it
on the Twitter
sucks.
side because he was blocking a bunch of people who was messaging on Twitter, and they're like to try to cover up his messages. But I don't think he understood how Twitter worked, because just because you block someone, like Angel said, the other person still has all the messages.
Oh my god.
So it's people aren't smart sometimes, and it's really concerning. But also, I guess the best thing is that people like him are dumb because it does allow this to come to light, and we're able to get people like him out of the scene. But regardless, it's an unfortunate situation. It's like the fourth time we've talked about something similar this year, which is unnerving. But
I have to wonder, like, when you have people who create content and the content gets primarily watched by people between the ages of, say, like 11 and 16, whether that's on purpose or not, like whether that's your target audience or not. Like I have to wonder if there's any like correlation there between like people who like start inappropriately messaging and interacting with their fans and that age group, because I mean, you rarely hear about like, I don't know, people who primarily get watched by adults. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head right now. But like, you don't hear about them being freaky and weird and strange, but you hear about, you know, Minecraft YouTubers, Minecraft being a game that's dominated by, you know, ages between 11 and 17.
Yeah.
It's like, that is a bit.
No, I get what you say, especially because I think not just like content creators, but people in general who have like overexposure to people in a younger demographic, because the only other area that you tend to see this largely outside of the gaming or online sphere is unfortunately in education. So there might be, maybe it's not necessarily those environments causing that, but certain people recognize that those environments allow them to be exposed in such a way.
Exactly.
And they intentionally insert themselves in those fields, becoming a Minecraft YouTuber or a Roblox YouTuber or becoming a teacher. And it's just... Obviously, like, for education, there's ways to vet people and do background checks, but for becoming a content creator, anyone can buy a computer, start up a game, and live stream.
Hop on Twitch, you know, whatever other streaming platforms are on nowadays.
Yeah.
No.
It's concerning, and I imagine we'll hear more information about the Dr. Disrespect situation. Like Angel said, there's probably no chance coming back from his temporary break from streaming. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, and I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something else about another big content creator later this year or in the future, because this is just the reality of the world that we live in.
Yeah.
But,
I hope the person in question eventually comes forward, or at least releases something about it, just because, I mean, I would want to hear their side of like how this happened to see if Twitch can take any measures to kind of prevent it. Because I mean, having some, like, I don't know the premise of Whisper, but I think it's kind of like Snapchat where stuff like disappears.
Not necessarily, because Twitch Whispers are used like if you were in a big chat with someone, like watching a live stream, you could click their name and then whisper to them, being like, "Yo, I see you like this game too," or like, "Yo, I hate your comment," or like whatever. It was a really quick way to message without going to the message feature. But it's also a really underutilized feature, so it's curious how he singled out this specific individual on Twitch when he was arguably one of the biggest streamers on the platform during his era. But not much we know at that front. Nope. But to happier and less depressing topics, and this one I know least about because I'm not in the Call of Duty scene as much, but Cloud9, one of the big North American esports organizations, has decided to partner with the NYSL, which is the New York Subliners, their Call of Duty League franchise team, and also go into Warzone, which I honestly didn't know still had an esports scene. But
they don't. They have the content creators. Nothing crazy. But yeah, like you said, they partnered with NYSL, and NYSL ended up taking home the tournament this weekend, or the past weekend, whenever you're watching this. Yeah, they won their first tournament back technically with so yeah, C9 doing good things, and we got nothing but respect for that org. Taking a risk on, especially on the CDL, since we're still with a lot of with blanks and unknown answers yet still. So we'll see this partnership come into what this partnership is going to look like later down the road. I think C9 is invited to the World Cup thing.
The Esports World Cup, which is starts actually tomorrow, which we might do a short topic. I didn't add it to our thing, but we might talk about it a little bit because of its controversies that are still growing. But
yeah, so I think they're going. So I think they won the team, and Atlanta FaZe announced they're going to that World Cup. So we'll see. But yeah, it's good for C9 and good that they're throwing themselves back out there again, especially not being conquered by esports winner.
No, most certainly. And then since this does technically connect to the COD Major 4, Call of Duty had their fourth major this past weekend. With the New York Subliners winning this event, all top 4 teams in the Call of Duty standings have now won one major, going into champions. Angels team Optic, I don't know what the freak they're doing. They have gone from top to way past the dumpster. It's really bad all of a sudden. But I feel you. Bad loss. COD also, this was a weird esports event because usually esports events are held in front of a crowd. This COD major is supposed to be held by
Carolina, and I was going to go.
Royal Ravens, but they announced last minute that they don't have funding to host an event. So, no in-person crowd, in studio, very weird atmosphere, but they did the best they could. So, COD seemingly on its last legs for this iteration of the Call of Duty League, but next year we'll see some big changes with the Microsoft acquisition that happened surprisingly earlier this year. Was it? Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's it for the COD major. Quick glance over to League of Legends. T1, world's biggest team, held their own homestand, got trounced at their own homestand, which is really unfortunate for them. But as a T1 fan, it's just sad. Last esports gaming topic. This one's weird. A New Jersey man was playing a game, an MMORPG called ArcAge. I have never heard of this game. I doubt either of you also know this game.
It's a dinosaur game. That's all I know about it.
But he was playing this game. No, yeah. And he was playing this game, apparently got super mad at somebody who lived all the way in Florida, was mad enough to fly down to Florida and attack him in person. Got arrested in Nassau County in Florida, and now is facing a couple years in prison.
Just a couple?
Yeah, it's, Girl,
that's premeditated murder.
Well, okay, so his name is Edward Kang. He was a 20-year-old from New Jersey. 20 years old. He's currently facing attempted second-degree murder charge after leaving a victim with severe but non-life-threatening injuries. He flew from Newark to Jacksonville, bought a hammer and flashlight at a nearby hardware store, and stayed in a nearby hotel to the dude's house. So he doxed the guy, flew over, like he said, with premeditated murder on his mind to try to kill him, and went to the victim's house at 2 a.m. in the morning, attacking him in the bathroom.
You can clip that response, the reaction of Angel and I both dropping our jaws when you said 20. I thought this was like, I don't know, like a middle-aged grumpy guy.
Police said when questioning the man, the motive was that he said he wanted to kill the victim because he was a bad person online. End quote.
That's it? You took a, what, 5-hour plane trip?
$200 flight to Florida.
This is New Jersey. That's like almost what? Like almost Maine, down to Florida, the tippy tip of the United States.
So
that's a whole cross-country flight.
So we're talking about my guy spent maybe $500-$600, and he could have saved some money by just blocking him. Does that not exist?
No, does that he was not a bad exist? Person online, so I had to kill him.
Yeah. You think about like all the bad interactions that happen between gamers online and like big multiplayer games, Minecraft, Halo, whatever, right? And people say things, but most of the time they never act on it. And if they do, usually in the news, it's somebody that just coincidentally happened to be in the same state or even same county. This is a different level of commitment that I don't think we've ever seen.
Hey man, if he was good and he was hired to do something, he was committed to do it. He'll do it no matter what. But his intentions are shit.
Imagine, like, okay, I could almost see you booking a plane ticket out of rage, right? It's Delta.com. Click. All right, my flight's booked. Maybe your card's pre-saved in there. But then sleeping, getting to the airport early. Going through security with your luggage, sitting on the flight, getting off of the flight. Oh my god.
He's like,
That's
okay, I gotta go to Home Depot to buy my hammer and flashlights. I got like a cheap motel near this dude's house, and I'm gonna wait till 2 in the morning to break into him, and he happens to be in the bathroom.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, what? But
Jesus.
I don't know.
What is the age of the victim? Do you know?
Ooh, that's a good
Victim's
question.
age has not been revealed for privacy concerns.
That's
Neither has his
fair.
name, but we just know that it was in
Mhm.
Nassau County in Florida, and a 20-year-old has so much going on in their life. This is probably the least of their concerns.
Man. Also, what 20-year-old has that kind of just casual fly down money? Ooh, what?
There are people. There definitely are people.
Is he like in college or anything? Or is this just like 2 years post high school? He was just like, alright.
If we had more
Time to kill.
details, we would know, but at the moment, that's all I can tell you. It's
Bro, that brother needs
weird.
help. He needs some help.
Man.
It's also the fact that, like, I don't think, like I said, none of us have heard of this game. I think gamers have not heard of this game.
All I know is it's a dinosaur game and you collect dinosaurs. And then it's like almost Pokemon minus the Pokeball, because you just kind of bring the dinosaur back to your enclosure and then you're like, yay, I have a dinosaur now.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't
No
know,
offense
man.
to anyone who's watching
Yeah.
who really likes Ark.
If you're an Arcade player, more power to you. Just
Your community has a little bit of a stain on it now, but y'all be alright. Y'all be
fine.
okay.
it's totally fine. But with that odd topic, I think that closes out the esports / gaming section. Now we move over to the general news, starting off with the United States men team that played against Panama here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Angel and I actually were in the same stadium at the same time watching this game.
Really?
I
Nice.
I almost
We did lose.
I almost fought whoever I saw in front of me. I was annoyed.
Did you book a plane ticket to another state?
Not
He was
yet.
gonna go to Panama and just commit atrocious
Gonna go to
crimes, but
Panama?
no. For those who don't watch soccer, the United States is ranked number 12.
What'd you call it? Wait, whoa. What'd you call it?
Soccer.
For those who don't
Soccer.
watch
Okay,
football,
American.
United States ranks 12 in the world. Panama ranks
They'll
in the
start-
top 40. This should have been an easy game. We should be out of groups right now. But right now, at 9:37
We're-
Eastern Time on July 1st,
fighting.
2024, America's fighting for their life to get out of group stages at this moment. And they're currently 0-0, so it's not going great. But
Oh.
American soccer's in a dire state. Fire their coach. People have been saying this for 2 years now.
I told you that, and you said no. I told you that they better lose. If they lose, get rid of him. There's no way in hell that you have these star caliber European players and you can't do nothing. What is wrong with you? Get out.
I don't know. The men's team just doesn't get to. And also, Panama currently is leading against Bolivia 1-0, so we're not getting out of groups. It's already chalked.
Aw.
So, L, we'll take the L. It's over now. To another
No way.
topic, though, that might give you very much vibes of 2020. Do you guys remember the monoliths that were popping up around the world in 2020?
The what?
Monoliths.
Exactly.
What the hell is
Like
that?
these-
Like big, like rocks.
Well, these were different
Oh.
because they were big silver towers that were popping up in the desert, somewhere in Australia, somewhere.
Oh, where people were
Giant,
like
rectangular.
Mm-hmm.
people thought aliens were coming or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really weird. And for some reason, in the past 2 weeks, they've been reappearing
back?
again in the United States. There was one that came in Vegas and
No.
disappeared a few days ago. And there's
You know
another
what-
one that
you-
appeared in
look.
Colorado just 2 days ago.
Notice when stuff like that happens, something bad is gonna happen.
I think aliens should come down. We'd be better off.
Miami aliens? Are they back?
I don't know. And it's like, these monoliths aren't cheap. They're giant metal structures that somebody has to discreetly go into the middle of the desert and install and get out without being seen.
I mean, it's the desert. It's not like there's cameras.
But still, though, you would assume
Yeah.
somebody would see some big object on a truck or whatever, just going straight that way.
Maybe they like built them there. Maybe it's like a portable shed situation. They have like all the parts.
Well, there was
Just
one video for
that
them.
thing.
There was one in Australia by a YouTuber. I did a thing. If any of you have heard of him, and he showed how he built his monolith. He just drove around in broad daylight with it on the back of his truck bed. Showed how he installed it in the forest, left, and then the news in a week was like, mysterious monolith appears in like Australian forest.
Monolith.
Who did this? Who could have done this? While his YouTube video has like 20 million views and nobody knows that it's him. So
I don't know.
Tell you how like simultaneously big and small the internet is.
What's weird about them is that they used to move, so they would be here and then they would disappear. So how quick were they moving these things?
Well, it's like it would be in one location one day. Like, imagine they built a monolith in Atlanta, and it was like in the middle of Centennial Olympic Park. And it's like, okay, then overnight, it's somehow on top of
California. No,
like what?
I've seen others go from one state to a different.
There's that too.
Am I tripping?
Guys, we should build a monolith on top of Stone Mountain.
And just say it. And let's just say it's not us. Let's just say it's not us. I mean,
guys, we're not going to build a monolith on top of Stone Mountain.
Totally not. If there's one there, it was not the 3 people you see.
It was not Global Conquerors. Just say that. It's not us.
Global Conquerors engraved on it. That's framing. They framed that.
And that GC stands for something else. It's not us.
Yeah.
No, it's not my signature. I did not sign it.
Cool things.
Great cool things. Great clips. Hair salon.
Great clips. Hair salon.
But yeah, I don't know what all the hype is about these monoliths. I know in 2020 it was like aliens are coming, or like people were losing their mind during the pandemic and just doing random stuff. But the fact that they're back in 2024, a lot of people, and we're not going to talk about it too much because we try not to be political, but a lot of people are like, it's a foreshadowing for the election. When the monoliths appear, that means things are about to get crazy.
Girl, they're already crazy. You see the debate the other night?
Wait, can we?
Fantastic.
Why was this debate so early? Usually it's always in September. How come it was so early?
Biden called the debate early because he thought it would give him an advantage. Unfortunately, it backfired pretty bad on him.
Everybody an advantage. I think it disadvantaged everybody.
Yeah, dude. Just to be so we're not political, but like. I think anyone who watched this debate, left, right, center, whatever, you can agree both parties' candidates should not be representing their parties. Easy said.
The disrespect of holding it on my alma mater's campus.
That's true, at Georgia Tech.
The disrespect of holding it in Atlanta, shutting down a very, very popular intersection. Mm-hmm. On a Thursday.
It was during the U.S. game too.
America lost twice that good day. They lost the game and they lost their future.
No audience. Do that nonsense over Zoom. Get out of here.
A Zoom debate would be funny because imagine if one of them just leave. They just leave the Zoom call. They're like, I'm done.
My opponent is making ridiculous claims.
Yeah, that's it. Anyways, monoliths are weird. Imagine we're going to see more of them over the month of July since they've started the trend of just reappearing all over the United States and watch them appear all over the world again. But that's just how humanity works for some reason.
I think it's fun. I think public art's fun. No, I love guerrilla public art. It's great.
You have like graffiti, you have like murals, and then you have giant stainless steel monuments, you know?
Yeah.
But
whatever keeps people out of trouble. I don't know what to say about this.
Yeah. And then to our last general news topic. America's top export may in fact be anxiety. Anxiety has been a lot of medical experts have said anxiety in the United States has been on the rise, and also worldwide it's been noticed as a rise in like demographics between the ages of like 12 and 24. So people our age are displaying more symptoms of anxiety. Of course, I think all humans have at least had some sort of anxious feelings, but like diagnosed anxiety or like just the prevalence of it apparently has increased. And I believe you know more on this topic since I have not been able to read the article fully, but lay into us.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting article. But essentially, the rundown is 4 big points. It's diagnostic inflation, which is the idea that the psychiatric community has kind of expanded the definition of sickness and the definition of a variety of different mental health disorders. Prevalence inflation, which is the idea that teens and young people on the internet kind of surround themselves with content that just kind of like exposes them more to the concepts of not just anxiety, but like anxiety is kind of the most prevalent, but also like depression and other types of, mental disorders. Negativity inflation, which is kind of the surge of negativity across news media, which I'm sure we've all freaking noticed. I mean, you really can't find anything positive in the news unless it's like a wild, amazing thing. Like, I bet people didn't know that we actually recently had a drop in our climate temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been worried about global warming for years and years and years and years, but I think we dropped like a quarter of a degree like a couple months ago, and like nobody noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said anything. And then the final one is the globalization of the American psyche, which is kind of the idea that the US, as the kind of home base for a lot of this like anxiety increase, is spreading it throughout other English speaking like media and social media sources, because English is, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's like the number 1 or number 2 most spoken language in the world.
Yeah, because English is
Um,
considered to be the world
I need
language,
Spanish.
and America's
Yeah.
soft power presence is the strongest of any other country. So we export
Mhm.
our media, our technology, our apps, and everything to the rest of the
Exactly.
world and influence how humanity's
It
being influenced, basically.
it's third.
Is it third behind
It's
Spanish and English?
Chinese, Mandarin is 1, and then Spanish is 2, and then English is third.
Okay, that's
But it's still up there. I mean, it could be vice versa. It's not that much of a difference.
Mhm.
Besides, I mean, it could be second, but either way, I
Mhm.
get your point. Though. It's up there.
But it's up there. A lot of people speak English, and it's that kind of anxiety wave has kind of spread throughout a lot of English media, and they found this because they compared um, people ages 12, I think it's like 12 through, I don't know, 20 something, in Quebec, and they found that the kids who spoke English were more likely to have anxiety and be anxious than the kids who spoke just French.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Just hearing about this.
I mean, just from like growing up in American society, we all see how like social media puts pressure on people to conform or to be better, to look a certain way, to act a
Mhm.
certain way, and for not doing that, you're one
You're
of the
not.
weird ones.
Yeah.
You're one of the
Yeah.
outsiders. You're an outcast. So a lot of people are already anxious due to that fact. And then you have different, like, you have familial anxiety from parents trying to mold you into a certain way. You have peer pressure anxiety from your friend groups if you find yourself in the wrong friend groups. There's a lot of ways that cultivate the rise of anxiety in the United States, and I feel like it's not a surprise. And I feel like while the internet and social media is a blessing, as I've said to Angel before, it's also a curse.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, mainly I think people deal with this as when they see someone that they have to, I guess, follow their type of way. It puts a
Mhm.
lot of pressure on them to like, okay, he is 20 years old and he's living the life. I
Mhm.
have to be at that same way. That's the problem with celebrities. People trying to like
Real.
idolize our celebrities. Oh, they're 21. They have jets. They have sponsorship. It's not. It puts a lot of pressure on them because it's like, well, I'm 24 and I don't have any of that. What am I doing wrong?
Mhm.
What do I have to do? And it puts a lot of pressure. And then families, they have high expectations. Especially what I've noticed mainly is would I say foreign families mainly?
Oh, like
They
first
said,
generation kids.
yeah, have a
Immigrant parents,
high,
born
yeah,
here. Hmm.
they have a high expectations for their kids because they moved over here to give their family a better opportunity to do, and they want them to achieve the highest they can, and it puts a lot of pressure on them because if you fail them, then what was all that they did was
Yeah.
it worthless? Like, so it puts a lot of pressure on somebody. Like, oh, I would be the first to graduate, but it just puts a lot more pressure and it eats the person alive. It gives them obviously anxiety because they have to live up to what their family wants them to live up to. But knowing if they can't, well, it just sucks. But um, it's probably the most common ways, especially with foreign families. I've realized that it doesn't matter. Immigrant families, they set a high standard for their children because they've moved everything they did, or it's just different for everybody. But they
Almost like,
sacrifice so much
yeah.
to uh, to get where they are for their kids, and they want their kids to achieve. So they so that is the one that I've noticed the most when I've talked to people about it, or like or well, the way people have talked about it is just the family has a high expectations for them because of what they sacrificed to give them that opportunity to do that, and it just puts a lot of pressure on them because if they don't do it, you just let your whole family down, and that's what causes that. So, um, and I mean, I think that's like the main one, but obviously, people they want to be like their celebrities, and it's not a great way to look at it too.
What
But
about you, Edith? What's
yeah.
your take on this or your perspective, what you've seen?
Okay. So I definitely agree with the first generation kid stress. So my job is I'm a tutor. I'm a tutor for a company that does both one-on-one and small groups. And we do get a lot of first generation kids who it'll be interesting because you think, oh, this kid's in for tutoring. So this kid's not doing well in school, right?
Mm,
You think, okay, this kid's getting like D's and C's in math class and we got to bump that up. No, it'll be like straight A kids whose families are like, you need to be enriched over the summer. You need to go to school over the summer so that you don't forget anything, so that you maintain a perfect 4.0 throughout high school. These kids are balls of stress. I mean, like, these are just like anxious kids, and it's crazy.
mhm,
But I think on a wider scale, I mean, going back to like you see on the internet and therefore you must recreate, you must copy. I think that kind of expands into a lot of people who talk about their mental health. And it's not that it's bad to talk about your mental health. But I think sometimes people so this is really common in medical school. People will see a illness and they'll fit like maybe 2, 3 diagnostic criteria, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I have this illness." And
mhm,
people will do the same thing with a lot of mental health issues. "Oh my gosh, I get unreasonably angry when someone yells in my face. I must have borderline personality disorder." No, you're just having a really normal reaction. Like, if someone yells in your face, you're either gonna cry, you're gonna scream back, or you're gonna run away.
mhm.
You're either gonna fight, freeze, or fly. That's like a really normal reaction.
Yeah.
But people, they're like, "Oh my god, I'm this, I'm that. This is, a label that I'm putting on myself without like speaking to actual psychiatrists." And this isn't to invalidate self-diagnosis of much bigger things like autism and ADHD, where it's really hard to get a diagnosis, especially if you are not a white male. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I agree with some points of it, and I disagree with others. Um, I mean, obviously, I have bias as a psychologist. I like to think that my field is, you know, can't do any wrong,
Mhm.
but obviously, no one's infallible.
Oh yeah,
Um,
most certainly. And it's
yeah.
just I'm not exactly sure how we would remedy this. I'm not sure if we should say crisis or just this overarching situation that's plagued over the American society and just over the human race in general. Because in the past, anxiety was ignored because we weren't studying it. We just thought people were weird. Stop acting this way. You're better than this, whatever, whatever.
Exactly.
Obviously, in the 21st century, we've had a lot of breakthroughs in the medical field and the psychology field that's been able to teach and educate people on the subject. But even with that, you still have some people who cling to the past, some people who choose to ignore, and some people who are learning. And I feel like we're in such an early stage of everything. The 21st century feels like a long time, but also it's really, really short when you look at it. Like, the invention of the internet, the devices that we're using right now only appeared in the last 20 years. But for us, it feels like an eternity. And same with the study of anxiety and the study of autism and study of all these other aspects is still relatively new. So it makes sense that we're in these growing pains and that we're working to understand it further and hopefully cultivate a way that will help people for the next generation and also help people in our current generation once we do find those answers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if that's all we have for this topic, Angel, as always, you can close us out.
All right. Go get them.
With that being said, this was the Conquest. I'm changing it up a lot, but thank you for watching this episode, this special episode. Make sure you watch the other episode that's going to come out. We still got some answers stuff to be answered that y'all may not have known. But anyways, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when we upload. Comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like. If Maka doesn't have enough flags in the background, make sure you go back and watch the other videos, other podcasts.
Don't have space for flags.
Put on your bedspread.
Sure. Sure.
With that being said, follow our socials down below. Almost forgot because I was laughing.
Our social media. I'm not in charge of the social media anymore, but
follow it down below. It will be in the description or in the link.
I'll be in charge.
Donate to the Global Conquerors Health Fund on GoFundMe, please, so we can get a new social media director who is right here in the corner. But till next time, we will see you guys on episode 33. I hope this is not this episode. Wait, this is episode. We'll see you guys on episode 34.
We'll see you in the next episode. Just